Welcome back to the shop and to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done an odds and ends video, so I figured I'd put one together here real quick. Not much really to say in here. Took a little bit of a trip, got some new acquisitions for the shop, so I figured I would go ahead and share all that with you. Well, starting with what seems to be a somewhat annual trip out to the Illinois Railway Museum in Crystal Lake, Illinois. This is part of the ArnFest, the annual get-together of members of the Old Woodworking Machines Forum. Also, Old Metalworking Machines is part of that. The Illinois Railway Museum is extremely vast and has a huge collection of locomotives and rolling stock. And they even run some daily while the museum is open, including this steam locomotive, Shay locomotive. They also have some trolley cars and some other locomotives that they power up and give visitors rides on. The swap meet is held on Saturday mornings, and folks are lined up outside of the museum for the swap meet as early as probably 7 a.m., if not earlier. And once inside, you can kind of get an idea as to why. There's quite a few folks here with plenty of old metal to buy and to sell. And occasionally you'll run across a more famous YouTuber. There were a few here this day, and it was fun to, see them again and get to chat. But there's quite a selection. Everything from vintage South Bend lathes for many thousands of dollars down to, the smallest screwdriver or machine tool. Although I didn't get them all on video, I was lucky enough to also meet up with Kyle from Vanover Machine, Stefano, who's the inventor of the Dr. DRO project that you've seen on this channel quite often, Tom from Tom's Rabbit Hole, and there were a few other folks who recognized me that happened to be viewers of this channel, and it was a lot of fun to be able to just spend a little bit of time and, talking about different things that they weren't necessarily all YouTube or machine shop related, but again, it was a really good time. The museum is only about a 6.5 hour drive for me, so it's kind of far. And if I was just going for the swap meet, maybe I'd have to think twice. But I also took it as an opportunity to go up to Milwaukee and visit with my very good friend Ron Grundy and his wife Carol, as well as spending a day at Vanover Machine, hanging out with Kyle and viewers that happen to come out for a meet and greet. Hopefully Kyle will make that an annual thing where I can come down and visit and also go see Ron and then hit the swap meet. So yeah, definitely a long trip, but very much worth it, and looking forward to next year. Earlier this year, Kyle had purchased this South Bend Heavy 10 for a video that he was producing, a couple videos. Those haven't come out yet, but I helped him with a few things back then, and when I came out to visit this time, he and I made a deal and I bought the lathe. So you'll see this in upcoming videos. However, it's still in Chicago with Kyle, and at some point in the future we'll make arrangements to get it in my shop. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is an interesting one. It's got an L00 chuck on it, and not your traditional threaded spindle. So I'm looking forward to being able to use this lathe. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to work with. I was watching one of ABOM79's podcast videos, and I had sent an email to him and asked him, if I might be able to get one of his shop stickers. And his terrific wife, Abby, replied and asked me for my address and sent me out some stickers. So this is awesome. This will be nice to add to the sticker door. And like always, if you'd like a sticker, drop me an email and I'll send you one. Well, I picked up these two 12-inch dial calipers earlier in the spring, and they both have problems. One's a no name, probably an import, and the other one is a Mitutoyo. And the problem with the Mitutoyo is it skips a tooth. So there's something wrong either with the gear or with the rack. I had actually taken these to ArnFest with me, hoping to run into Mark Rotowski, who, has done some repair work for me in the past, but unfortunately I missed him. He had left before I had a chance to reach out to him. So I brought them back to Ohio just to ship them back out to Mark, who lives right around the corner from the museum. So I'm looking forward to getting these things fixed and working. A couple of other acquisitions I picked up off of Practical Machinist Forum. These are a couple of genuine Indicall indicator holders for the Bridgeport or other spindled machine. These are really nice because you can clamp them either on a drill chuck, like for the bigger one, or the smaller one can go right on the end of the spindle. And it's for indicating in a part to be directly underneath the spindle, something, round. Easy ways to do that with the DRO, but this right here fine tunes it, gets it a little bit more accurate. While I was at Kyle's machine shop, a viewer of mine and of Kyle's and of Keith Rucker's and others, John, brought in a bunch of stuff that he had acquired from a business that had closed. And one of those things was this Kearney and Trecker Model H parts manual. Now, I have a 2HL. This is a little bit different than mine, but it'll still be nice to have. And then since I have a KO Lee tool and cutter grinder, he thought of me and grabbed these to hand over. And these are just, parts lists and, lubrication instructions and catalogs for the KO Lee line of tool and cutter grinders. He also gifted me this genuine KO Lee wheel dresser. You bolt down to the tool and cutter grinder for dressing the different wheels. I had also mentioned on a video a while back how I wanted to try to find more taper shank drills that I can use in the Morse taper of the tailstock. And John heard that and came in with a small box of different size taper shank drills. Some of these probably need to be sharpened, but that's okay. These will definitely come in handy on the lathe and even the horizontal mill. Few things I picked up at the swap meet is this Starrett number 55 beveled edge 6-inch machinist square. Yep, that's right. It was only $35. Couldn't pass that up, and especially since it included the case. Well, I bought this dead center drive dog hoping that it would fit the taper of my Brown & Sharp dividing head, but sadly it does not. So I don't know what this taper is, probably a Morse tape or something. If anybody needs this, send me an email. You can have it. Well, I've seen Slav at every ArnFest that I've been to, which is only 3, but I've seen him at all of them, and he has tables upon tables of different files, and I do not have any really good files. I might have 2 or 3 Nicholson files in my drawer, but they're just random files that I got from toolboxes or from my dad. And so I asked Slav to put together a variety of new files, and ones that I would find useful in my shop, and including this one here, which is a lathe file. It's a long cut lathe file. So I'm looking forward to actually having some really good files to use for the different projects that I've got going on in the shop, and I can get rid of some of those junk ones. Well, Keith Rucker is a fixture at ArnFest, and ahead of the trip, I had sent him an email and asked him if he could bring by one of his 9-inch straight edges because I would like to have one. I already have one of his 12-inch straight edges I bought secondhand off of Practical Machinist. Eventually, I will add the 18-inch straight edge to my collection, but maybe that'll be when I go down to Keith's shop and take one of his scraping classes, in which the outcome of that is you come home with a scraped 18-inch straight edge. But one of these days, I'm going to get around to machining these and getting them scraped in. Most of my videos are done fairly close up to where you're just kind of seeing my hands and what I'm working on. So you really don't get to see what kind of a mess the shop is or just how tightly packed some of this is. But with all the renovations, or should I say the work that's been going on outside with my garage floor, as well as my driveway, I kind of took the opportunity to make some changes. My wife has suggested for a while that I need to take these wall cabinets here and move them out into the garage. And I never really had a plan as to what that was going to look like, but I finally decided to take a chance. And I moved them out into the garage. It's a little tight next to one of our cars, but what that did in the shop is just nothing short of monumental, at least for me. Not only did I move that cabinet, but I took my workbench and rotated it 90 degrees and put it up against the wall of the shop. I moved my surface grinder and actually most of my other grinding tools to the opposite end of the shop from the machine tools. So I'm going to kind of call this the dirty end of the shop. But it really gave me so much more flexibility and so much more space that it's going to be just monumentally more enjoyable to be out here in the shop. I think I still have some tweaks I want to make to this end of the shop. I need to get some more pegs for that pegboard. There's some, 3-phase equipment here that's not even hooked up, including that double-headed tool grinder. And I think there's some other improvements I could make, but I think this end of the shop is about 90% of where I want it. Now, this opposite side of the workbench is fairly well organized, although I still think it needs some work. Those Tupperware containers underneath it have a whole bunch of different kinds of hardware. I need to go through that and get rid of some of it. And what I would really like is to get a couple of Vista drawer cabinets that'll go underneath there, and maybe replace those clamshell boxes underneath the that Kennedy on the left there with like a bolt bin, something that'll be a little bit easier to find some hardware. But so far, I really couldn't be happier with how much progress I've made. This opposite end of the shop is fairly well organized, but I think I need to get rid of at least a couple of those shelves in the corner. I do find them to be useful, but I very well may need that space for the South Bend Heavy 10. I don't know if I want to rearrange these machines or not, but I leave that possibility open. We'll see. I hope I don't have to, but we'll see. We'll see what the future has once I get that lathe in here. Well, I think it's going to be it for this episode. I got Adam's sticker here up on the board, along with one I picked up at the Railway Museum. It was definitely a fun trip. Well, a big thank you to all the subscribers and those that support the channel on Patreon and PayPal. And I really do appreciate you liking. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below, or do both. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.